Who's a little bit?
Okay. And we are live. Welcome back, fam, 50ish fam, to the 50ish podcast. We want to thank you all for following us. We need you to like, we need you to subscribe, we need you to share. So let me start by giving out our handles. So for IG, Facebook, and TikTok, we can be found at the 50ish podcast. At the 50ish podcast. And on YouTube, we're just 50ish podcast. So we have a Gmail, 50ishpodcast.com. You can reach out to us. We do have a website that is under construction. When it's ready, it'll be www.50ishpodcast.com. But as for right now, like, subscribe, share, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. With that out of the way, tonight we are talking about, again, we want to make sure we reiterate that our target audience is people aged 45 to 65. We are gender neutral because we feel like there's enough going on in midlife for everybody to identify. So we are women, 3 women, 1 mic. We are for the women, but I personally am an advocate for men too because they need a safe space as well. And sometimes I don't think anybody gets it. So, and we as they have just as many changes as we do. So, tonight, if you're 45 to 55, we got something good for you. We're going to talk about the unfiltered changes our bodies go through during midlife. It's not just for women, it's for brothers. So, sisters, how y'all feeling? Brothers, y'all all right. We see you. And for the people who love us and try to support us, this is your insight guide. So you'll get a little bit of better understanding on what's going on and how it happens. And to the future generations, we hope that you taking notes so that you're better prepared because we kind of feel like we were ill prepared when it came to midlife. We knew things, but we didn't know the depth. And it could just be, for instance, you can agree with this, Frida. Ain't nobody heard of perimenopause until the last few years. So if I ask my mama something about perimenopause, she'll be like, "Peripause and did what now?" And who was Perry? Like, so yeah, we don't we don't know we don't know um we didn't know about this. So some of the things that we're finding out now that we say we weren't told, maybe they just didn't have a name, a term, a phrase, maybe they weren't talked about. It was taboo. Back when menopause was seen as like some crazy psycho period. Avoid women who going through the change and all that kind of stuff like this. And the reality is, it's just a turning point for us. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. We're gonna go ahead and get it started. Um, I guess the first thing we'll talk about is the shift, like what the physical shifts. So, what's why didn't nobody tell us when you get to a certain age your thighs start arguing with your jeans, or your bladder, you can't hold it no more. Run on to the bathroom now. You understand what I'm saying? So for you be embarrassed somewhere. Um, so the shift. So Frida, what's something that took you by surprise when it came to midlife that you wouldn't kind of came out of nowhere?
So let me just give a little backstory. I remember when I started my period when I was 9 years old, and of course that's something that caught my mother completely off guard.
Right.
I think fourth grade, right? Fourth grade. And I remember even then, she was just so taken aback and just so, caught off guard because I hadn't even had the talk yet. She felt,
Okay.
her 9 year old, I was still playing with dolls and all this other kind of stuff. And so I think that's where the secretness, of course, you're supposed to be discreet. I was taught to at least, and she did teach me what to do. Like,
Yeah.
as a young girl, this is what you need to do in preparation for, every month you're going to have a period, and these are the things that you need to do. You may experience this, that, and the other.
Mm-hmm.
But it was still quite, and I remember she had to have her friends come and have that conversation with me because again, she just
Okay.
wasn't ready. She said she
Okay.
wasn't ready. And her words to me was, you just can't play with little boys anymore. That was a very vague statement. I was like, what do you mean? We go
You
outside.
mean kickball?
Yeah.
Kickball?
But
Yeah,
she
we
left
do
it
this
at
all the
that.
time.
She left it at that and didn't have any other conversation with me about your body changes from as a young girl at 9 years old. Okay. So go on, you learn as you go. You listen to your friends, you learn things in school because we did have a sex education class in school. So you just,
Do
go
they
on.
still have that in school now?
I don't know. I think some
I
schools
know.
have it.
I think it falls under
They have
health. I don't
permission.
know.
Yeah, and they ask you have to ask when certain
Permission.
subjects are brought up, parents have to give their permission for their
Okay.
child to participate.
But all they got to do is log on to the web. So they really know the World Wide Web and get it. But
Yeah.
go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's true.
So anyway, so it was just being discreet. That whole conversation around a young girl or a woman having a period was very discreet. You're supposed to be discreet. Nobody's supposed to know you have a period. Okay, so you go on with life. When I went through elementary school, high school, managing my cycle, and I noticed in my younger, well, no, this must have been after I had my son. I had my son when I was 24. And then, that whole thing, body changes, carrying a child, whatever. And then maybe 10 years after that, I noticed that, I was skipping cycles and just having really, really bad. I mean, it felt like, and this was prior to my cycle, my ovulation period was so painful, just
Hmm.
before you have your period. I mean, I felt like literally the egg being released and traveling down the fallopian tubes and affixing itself to the walls of my uterus. It was just that painful. And I didn't know and understand what that was. And I remember going to my gynecologist asking, I said, it's just something I'm talking about, and it would last for like a day, like dead. I mean, I'm just so painful. And I can't remember the name of the condition she told me, but I looked it up. And then that's where I learned the term perimenopause. Because this was a symptom of perimenopause. I'm like, perimenopause, just like you said in the introduction, it's like, how do we don't even, I had never heard about perimenopause.
Yeah.
And then even after being knowledgeable that, it wasn't like the doctor took time to share anything additional about that. Like things that I know now having to be postmenopausal, like the mood swings, that whole, crying at the drop of a hat and just emotional, everybody getting on your nerves, you just being very unapproachable, being mean sometimes. And then things get good. You're on an emotional roller coaster, And so it's like, wow, and I remember again, women in my family just deemed it the change. Oh, she's going through the change.
That's
and
what it was called. Yeah.
To older aunts,
Yeah.
when they would do something or be mean or whatever. Oh, she's just going through the change. Still no in-depth conversation. And that wasn't enough for me to ask a question about, well, what does that mean?
All I know the change mean you mean now.
Yeah. And then it stopped, your period was gonna stop. You can't have kids anymore. Okay, but then I was so far from that, I'm like, yeah, whatever. Until I had my first hot flash.
Okay.
I didn't understand and know what it was. I just said, I just thought it was hot where I was and just try. And then, I don't know, within the last, like you say, 10 years, there have been platforms that talk about menopause and what that means. Perimenopause, like this whole movement of women speaking up, like, yeah, this is one of those liberated things. It's okay to say menopause.
Folks need to know.
It's okay to talk about menopause because it really affects your life. It affects your life and how you deal with stuff, the emotions. I remember when I was explaining to you at that time about hot flashes. I think some years ago when we talked about it, and I was like, the hot flashes are just insane. Some women experience other things. I think only thing
a whole lot
other than the emotional, because I got to a point where I'd be crying, looking at a video or a TV.
Baby, the people reunite with their soldiers. Yeah, on
yes,
I know these folks.
Yeah. going to
Yeah.
sleep crying, just
Yeah.
emotional, just not hopeless, but just don't know where to put
Or
these
why? What
feelings
to
that I
do? Right.
had,
Yeah. Yeah.
and didn't really want to talk about it because I didn't want nobody to think I was
Yeah, I'm
crazy,
crazy. Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a journey. I'm glad to say that I am postmenopausal, but even when you're postmenopausal, you still have some phantom symptoms, and you still deal with some emotional things, so you're still not out of the woods, even being postmenopausal. Like I know the mental belly, your stomach, you
Or the
know.
dad bod for the men. The dad
Yeah,
bod.
it's just this
Yeah.
midsection
But
just
that's where the
gets
fat tends
out of
to
control.
congregate. Yeah.
No matter what, and even I fluctuated, yo-yo dieted, lost, 100 pounds and gained and lost, but no, what was the mainstay was my belly,
Mm.
but then now even more so within the last year or two, I really recognize and know, man, this midsection is hard to get rid of. It's hard, but there's this thing called menopause, your menopause,
Yeah.
your hormones, your stress hormones that produce cortisol, and it makes it difficult and of course, the older you get, the more difficult it is to lose weight. So
Right.
it's a myriad of things. But I'll stop right there because
And
I
I
don't
think
like
that's where we shift to looking in the mirror, and well, we start doing exercises for health, not
Mhm.
to be
Mhm.
slim, and
Yeah.
because some stuff is just gonna happen. And I'll go back and I'll say this: when it comes to periods, even though we knew that menopause or the change meant your period stopped, I don't think anybody told me, because I had a conversation. I think I was on the phone with Tanya. My mom was in the car and Tanya was beside her mom, and I was saying, "You didn't tell us. Like, we just knew hot flashes and your period stopped. Nobody said that there would be a period in between is stopping where you spot or you flood or whatever." And my mama started telling me, "Girl, you don't remember I was having heavy periods?" No. She was like, "I
Mhm.
had to have on a tampon, a pad, and I had to sleep with a towel between my legs." I didn't know that. Like,
Mhm.
well, why would I know
That
that?
goes
You
to
got to
that being
say that.
discreet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I remember we went tailgating or something one year, the three of us, and you were telling us like
Mhm.
something was going on.
Mhm.
I'm
I
sorry.
remember.
Oh damn! I thought I hit mute. I turned the camera off. I didn't mean to talk like that, child. It happened. It's 50ish, and it is. It's life. It's gonna be there too. I ain't gonna even edit it out, so
Yeah.
y'all know. The mind fall. Like I'm thinking I'm doing
Mhm.
one thing, but
Definitely my
I
fault. But
don't.
I
I don't
remember
think
that tailgate.
Yeah, I
I was
remember
you
that
but
don't.
too.
I
Yeah.
saw
You
Yeah.
hemorrhaging.
remember that
I
time?
Yeah.
felt like I
I
was
remember. Yeah,
hemorrhaging.
I remember that.
And
I
then
was
I
like, oh my
stood up.
God.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it was, yeah.
And we
Yeah.
kept telling
It's
you were free to. You was like, "No, I'll be okay. Like I got
yeah.
this in place and that in
Yeah.
place." But
Yeah.
I don't even think did we realize in that moment that
Mm.
there was menopause
We
a
did.
part
No.
of the. I don't think we did.
I
It
was
was
thinking it was something else going on with me.
something
I
was
didn't
going
know.
on. Yeah,
But
and
Yeah.
but
so
yeah, that
yeah,
that's all that's a part of it. Like you say, even bone health,
all of
your,
that,
Oh,
your
girl.
arthritis. I mean,
Cause
it's
all
baby,
of
this
that.
arthritis ain't no joke. That's why I was late getting on. I had to go find my Advil and take them because I wasn't gonna make it through the podcast. I was like, oh
Yeah, it's. But listen, the ignorance to that for me, the ignorance to that. Now I have to admit that I have to do better with going to the doctor. I have vowed to, because I grew up. If you weren't sick, you probably didn't need to go, especially after you go to those visits where you're getting vaccines, the things that give you shots so you can keep going to school. If you ain't sick, you good. I'm sorry, y'all. But again, I don't know if my mom had the type of health insurance back then that allotted for all these well child visits and all the stuff that we get now with no copays. And she may not just been able to pay whatever. I
but
don't know.
but I tell you too, Renee. One thing consistent, like we didn't get sick. Like even when I compare my child,
Yeah,
like I stayed. Nicholas was asthmatic.
yeah,
And
oh,
just
I didn't know
these
that.
little. Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, really bad. I mean, it was nights. We getting up in the middle
Mhm.
of the night, going rushing him. Because he
Mhm.
can't breathe.
Right.
But when I think about us and when we were growing up, we really didn't get sick, other than the
because we stayed
usual
outside.
scrapes, scratch when you fall, or
Stay that fire.
if you got a cold or the flu, they
Yeah,
used home remedies that worked
yeah,
just fine. So going to the doctor, other than a routine, like you said, a well check,
yeah,
you go to the
yeah,
dentist like at the beginning of the school year, get your
yeah.
that's part of your well check, but the other piece, we
Yeah,
just
we just
did. They didn't
put some
normalize that.
alcohol on to get the peroxide where the band-aid said,
Yeah,
lay down. That's
all
your
of
cure. Lay
that.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah, lay down. So I think it, with the joints and stuff like this, I had to diagnose myself with rheumatism because that's what my great grandma. But it's all a part of menopause for real. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, I
so,
heard. Yeah,
but
I'm like, oh.
but think about what time you taking Advil. So it's joints. Like you don't even know. I
Yeah,
thought I
I
was having
know,
a
but I
stroke.
just thought, I don't
Yeah,
know. I
I
think
thought
I
I was
thought
having a
because I
stroke.
had been in so many car accidents or something. I don't know.
Yeah, but and I do know that some things do come back. An old injury may still haunt you years later. But if the car accidents were going to cause a problem, look like they would have caused them after the car, right there when the car
Right
accident took
then.
place. Yeah. So I told you I thought I was having a stroke because I couldn't use my arm wouldn't go up all the way. And then I just started listening to people and they were saying, no, that's a symptom, baby. That's a
Yeah.
symptom of
Oh, I
menopause. And
did
then I
read
realized,
that. I read
yeah,
that.
like
Yeah.
it's a spectrum is what I call it
Yeah. Yeah,
because
it is. It's so much. It's so
Mhm.
it's so
much.
much more. And think about it this way. We midlife. We got everything our body. I think it's interesting how we get prepared for puberty. Like if there's a young girl, because I was gonna ask you, you didn't have no symptoms of when you were gonna start your cycle. Because if it's a house with a young girl in it, everybody on edge at some point. And they looking, you say you got a headache.
Yeah. But this, I'm gonna tell you, I knew it's like in my mind, and what I remember being said was it's just your physical appearance. You start needing a training bra, and then
Mm-hmm.
your mom notices that you're moody. So it won't be long. It won't be long.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like old wives' tales on how they
Yes.
determine, but they
Yeah.
still weren't having a conversation. And again, I
They
was
weren't.
9.
Yeah.
I didn't know nothing about.
You were
I didn't
9.
know anything about a period.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
9 years old, and
Yeah,
I
that's young.
remember I just knew my stomach. I was at school and my stomach was hurting.
Yeah.
It just wouldn't relinquish. I didn't even recognize them as cramps because I didn't know
Right.
nothing
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
And Jess, I remember it specifically. We were getting ready to go to lunch. I stood up and one of the girls in the class was like, "Oh, Frederica, you're back, you got something on your pants." And I was like, and when I was like, "Oh my God," I was, everything was everywhere. And I didn't,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't, it was after that I always carried a pad at my little purse.
Right. You wouldn't have
But
known to
before
do it
that,
before that. Right.
didn't know. And I mean, I had to go to the nurse, didn't have anything, didn't
Yeah.
have no nothing,
Yeah.
And
But
I
she
think
did, I'm sure.
Yeah, they have them in the
yeah,
in the
she did. And
clinics.
then which, fast forward now, it's amazing how things happen because we, in my little civic organizations, we prepare me time um, packets and we give them to the schools. And
Yeah.
it contains the hygiene products. It contains either pads or tampons, some wipes and things like that for either when girls don't have them, they need them,
Yes.
they know they need them, but
Yes.
they don't have them, or if you have an accident or somebody's first
Yes.
time, they're prepared. The
Yeah.
nurse had them. I don't even know if they still have school nurses in the
They
schools.
do. I don't
Yeah,
think
they
they're
do.
there every day,
Mm-mm,
but
they're
they still
like,
probably
yeah.
have provisions. They probably still have that kind of stuff that
Hmm.
somebody of an administrator can get to,
Hmm.
especially at the elementary and middle school level. You
Because
know
it
what I mean?
happens
Because
with
yeah, in high
elementary.
school, you just look at your friend and be like, "You got one on you,"
Yeah, yeah. By
but
that time, you kind of know, but
yeah, you
before,
know,
Yeah.
yeah,
just
um,
not prepared at all. And like I said, it
Mm.
was just a discreet thing and
it was.
unmentionable. But I'm glad
Right.
that today, like we're sitting on a
We're
podcast,
talking, yeah,
and
Talking
to
about it.
talk about it, yeah,
and that's a good thing because it'll help those coming up and normalize the fact that yeah, I may be feeling a little off, but it's
but
okay if
it's
I'm between
okay,
these ages,
it's okay,
perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopause.
it's
It's
okay.
okay.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and to the people that support us, to our family members, like
Mhm.
listen, it is you have no clue. what it feels like, because we can't describe it. So no, I don't know why I'm looking at in the eye of the storm, because I like to watch it and I'm crying, and the people that survived the hurricanes and stuff, but I'm crying looking at their loss. Or I follow Black fatherhood or something on social media, and I'm boo-hooing looking at these daddy in there. So it's but again, we in a household now, let's just say our households, because I remember when my daughter started her cycle and she called her dad, he was like, what you need me to do? You need me to bring you something? You this, you that, you this, you that. So people get prepared. They give her space. Let her have it. She might be mean. Brothers get back. But then we need that same courtesy when our bodies stop that process, because it's still a function and everything is everywhere. We midlife, the kids grown. We're trying to figure out, do we got enough for retirement? Why am I waking up in the middle of the night? How many times I'm gonna use the bathroom in the middle of the night? Why am I crying? Why am I mad? Why did that just piss me off? And all they did was walk by and say, excuse me, ma'am. I ain't no ma'am. I'm a miss. You know, wait a minute, they don't know me. Like, so yeah, so I think like,
and the sweating. Why the sweating? I ain't did nothing to be sweating in this bed like this. Like, what
and
is
let me
going
tell y'all something.
on?
Frida can attest to this. Growing up, I did not sweat, Tanya. I don't care what we did outside. I don't care how long I stayed. I did not sweat. But now, I be in the shower and have to turn the water on cold because I'm sweating so bad. My face, like, you can't be, your face gonna be filthy. Like, so it's, baby, sweat. I be musty. Kelsey be laughing at me because I be saying, Kelsey, I don't feel like I should have to put on no deodorant to go to bed. But when I wake up and do something like this, I be like, oh, since you want to start putting on some deodorant going to bed.
They make products specifically for women of our age that helps control that.
What is
you got Lumi?
Oh yeah, I've had Lumi before. She's good.
Yeah, it helps that extra.
What is Lumi?
She's expensive.
L-U-M-E.
I did
they have it's a cadre.
They have deodorants, they have wipes, they have all kinds of stuff.
And you put them in those areas, your armpits, your vaginal area, your butt, things that, again, when you sweat, you're going through, you know, your body's changing constantly, 1 minute hot, 1 minute cold. So yeah, your hormones are fluctuating, and some may go a little further than others, and so it's the mustiness. But this helps control. Lumi helps control that.
It does, yeah.
It does help control.
I had like a trial pack or something, but I was like, I wanted to buy it, but I just hadn't. I was just like, but it's pretty good.
There are things that help. See, again, I'm glad that the conversation is now being had, because we have things. And I tell you, I follow. Her name is she started the We Do Not Care Club on TikTok.
I seen it.
So she just got a partnership with Dove. So Dove has come up with a line of products, again, to those of us that are going through the changes, certain type, your skin, the dry, your skin gets
that's another thing.
All kinds of stuff, but there's Dove is coming out with a product line that's going to cater.
I love Dove. Yeah.
Thank y'all.
Trying to navigate menopause, perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopause.
Thank y'all.
So Lumi, try Lumi, because you, again, it's not abnormal for you to be musty. That's
because I'm like, girl, I went to work and never had on no deodorant, and it was okay. Like, I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure, y'all.
Listen, let's not forget. And I know I do now. The first time I got some whiskers under my chin.
Maybe they calling me Mister. Yeah.
It's the chest hairs for me. It's the chest hairs for me.
And it's a real thing, because like a standing routine to shave.
No.
Your face, your chin, your mustache.
Kelsey bought me a device from Five Below.
She bought some who?
She bought me a device from Five Below 7 years ago. And I used to see them advertised, and it's battery operated, and it just whisks the hair off. But baby, when I tell you, you got to have a family, it don't require a family pack of batteries, but how often I have to use it. So this ain't on the device, baby. Listen, baby, I have to open it up and dump the hair, blow it out, because baby, you don't know. So and I'm hairy anyway. But these
Mhm.
whispers, no ma'am, no ma'am. Because when he rub his hand, I want him to be like, hey, bro,
Right.
what you
You
need to tell
understand
me? You want
that.
to expose your status and whatnot. If you feel me? So yeah, if you identifying as something that you ain't, you supposed to tell me that. Like so,
Oh God.
yeah.
You
Okay, so
have thinning,
what
your
you
hair
got?
thins, your
Your
hair
hair thins, your
begins to
Oh, I
teeth
have
fall
none.
out. It can be
definitely.
anything, y'all.
What?
It's a
You don't
spectrum.
even want to know
Yes.
about the teeth F. Oh my God. I
Well,
ain't
I
gonna even
got a
take out
loose
this.
tooth right over here, and I keep
Okay.
telling my Lord, I think I can. Just
Yeah.
let me get to the dentist appointment, please. Because that ain't gonna
Go.
be cute if you missing right here. You can't miss
Let
it.
me.
Like it's gonna fuck gonna be like, what she on
Girl,
crack?
it's in your smile line. You cannot.
Yeah, no, baby,
Yeah.
no, no,
Yeah.
baby, no, no, baby,
Thanks
no.
to my girl. Thanks to my girl. She hooked
Don't
me
do it.
up,
Don't do it.
baby.
Don't call her name.
Boy.
Don't call her name. Don't call her name. Don't say it. Let it go. Let it go. Cause this is not anyway. Listen. So let me ask you this: have you had have you started? I've been told that I snore now, like loud, and I'm saying, well, that was never my problem
It could be
before.
Yeah.
androids.
Nah, girl, they saying this is still something that happened in old
Mm.
age with men, with women,
Really?
sleep apnea, all the stuff that's coming up. People ain't dealt with
Oh.
before.
I haven't been told. I don't think I snore. Nobody's complained about me snoring.
That's cool.
So I don't think so. But
Okay.
I do know that sleeping it can be a challenge. You know,
Yes.
be up. When it's time to get up, you get
Yep.
sleepy, so you have
Yep.
insomnia. You have
Yep.
to
Yeah.
you learn to
Anxiety.
get things like melatonin,
Mm.
aids, things that
Mm-hmm.
help you
Mm-hmm.
cope with these
Mm-hmm.
symptoms.
Mhm.
Yes.
So that you can have some normalcy. But yeah, I embrace it now that I know I'm not the only
Mhm.
one. I know that it is a
Right.
thing,
Yeah.
and that just help me get through it. Just understand and just help me get through it.
Yeah. The
It
Mm.
last
ain't,
thing
it
we're gonna
ain't
talk
good.
about with physical though, y'all, is the sexual part. The some
Mm,
women are experiencing sexual. Tanya, I didn't give you a chance to say. I think you said it
yeah.
was the sweating though.
Oh,
I didn't give you a chance to say what caught you by surprise with menopause.
mm, I'm just gonna say I think I must have started menopause like right after I had Kelvin. So that's been like 30 years ago. Because I mean, my chest hair was growing in like a man. I just remember having on a shirt one day and this guy that I was kind of liking, and he got on the elevator with me. He was like, "Oh, you got some chest hair." I'm like, "Oh my God." But I didn't know that that could be premenopausal. Even
Perimenopause.
though I had two more kids after that, but it was just like weird. I was like, why am I growing chest hair? Like, that's so weird to me. I just didn't understand. And I was like, but now,
And it still happens.
yeah, it does. I have the little thing that she was talking about, the little tweet thing. I use that,
Okay.
because I think at one time I was shaving and I had
Mhm.
an ingrown right there,
Oh yeah.
and I had to have surgery, at the
Mm-hmm.
not gynecologist, but the dermatologist too, and it was a big cyst inside of it.
Okay.
It
Yeah.
was horrible. It was horrible. So now
Okay.
I have to be very, very careful with that. But yeah, the hair growing there, and I don't have no hair. I have alopecia, so I don't have any hair, right?
Mhm.
So I'm
But right
like,
there, you got a head full. You got a whole. Yeah, gotcha. Grow where
I'm
you
just
should grow.
right.
Yeah,
I'm
you
like, why?
have. Yeah,
Why is that? Do you have hair on your toes?
I do. But I
I've
always
always had
have.
hair on my
I
toes.
just
I,
wanted to
I
know
have.
why is it growing
I
there?
got
Like, what?
hair here. I got hair
Yeah, I
on my
do
Yeah,
too.
but
chin.
that I don't.
I've
That's
always
been my
had that.
life. Yeah, that ain't. That's
I've
not
always
Oh, okay.
got nothing to do with
Okay.
menopause. If you just getting it, that could be for you. But
No, no, no. It's
I've
been
always
there.
had it.
It's been there. And
I was just
and
telling myself to shave it because it's starting to look like an afro too. What's going on up under this cap? You feel me? So yeah, but
yeah.
so
what were you gonna say?
I was just saying it's just so weird to me. It's just like I don't understand why your body go from this extreme to the other, and it's like to me it doesn't seem like a long time ago, but 20 years, 20, 30 years ago, it's just like, okay, it has started. But at what age are you just normal? Like none of that matters, no cycle. I mean, before, I guess I want to say when you hit middle school, really, things start to change.
Well, I was in elementary school, but I guess that could be I was 9,
I was in high
Mm.
school.
so
I started in elementary, but I think it was like the fifth grade, fifth or sixth grade, something like
So
that.
that's still about 10 or
mhm.
11. That's
Mhm.
probably about the
But
norm age. I think
but that's
kids 10.
common. I find a lot
Mhm.
of.
Yeah.
I thought I was unique because I felt like 15,
Oh
16, and
no, it's a lot of
I
them.
was
It's
9 years
normal.
old, and I found that a lot of
Mhm.
people that I've met just over time have had,
It was
you
the
know,
same, yeah.
8, 9 years old
Mm.
over a period,
Mm.
Okay, so
So
let's go with the sexual health. So some women are saying vaginal dryness. I happen to just be in a state of celibacy right now. Not necessarily just because I'm just first of all, I just have a lot going on. But I don't want to hear all that skiddly bebop that these folks talking about. Like talk about something grown. You see what I'm saying? So I don't yeah. So I'm not on some religious kick, even though it is right. I'm not trying to I'm not purposely waiting. I'm just purposely waiting on somebody with a purpose, if that makes
mhm,
sense.
mhm.
So
Mhm.
I
Makes a
can't
lot of
speak
sense.
to the dryness because I try not to do stuff to let nothing else pop off because I ain't got nobody to scratch the edge. So
Mhm.
I can't speak to that, but I have had several friends our age say the same thing, and they say, we heard about KY a long time ago. KY jelly. KY is now a friend, and they do say
Mm.
once they use that little bit of KY, everything go back to
To normal,
Mm.
yeah.
the normal. Like it just
Mhm.
aids, and then her natural, I guess, will start. But
Okay.
um, and then we got women who saying they husband acting like they got something to prove because they trying to, it's every
Mhm.
night and it's 7 to now, and she ain't. She looking back over him like, if you roll this way, you gonna leave with a concussion tonight. You know what I mean, and that type of stuff. But then you got people saying they husband or significant other is not doing what it did once upon a time. So the sexual health, but again, that's still you can't tell me that it don't mess with a man ego
Mhm.
to not be able to
Shit, yeah.
be on go when it's time to be on go.
I
Sure.
so for me, because again, I don't know, not trying to be too uh TMI, but I remember at what I think I was going for a gynecologist exam.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and just they use the speculum, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just the use of the speculum was so painful.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
I
Wow.
mean, it was like I had to tell her to stop.
Mm.
And
Wow.
so I was like, but what happens? Even putting on a tampon was painful, very
Really?
difficult. It was like
Wow.
I say, it's just like how you have your ears pierced,
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
you
yeah.
don't put a
A
earring in it
hoop
to
in.
hold it
Yeah.
closed. So I was
Right,
like,
right, right.
is my vagina closed enough?
Oh,
Or what?
well,
It was hormone related. It was hormone
really?
related. And she did. She prescribed me estriadol
Yeah,
for
I've
Yes.
heard of
cream
that.
that it's you put it in like a suppository, but it's a
Mm-hmm.
cream you use that has really made a difference. But
Okay.
again, something related to being menopausal, and
Mm-hmm.
then
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you have to have a little help to replenish because as you get older, yeah, your walls, your vagina, everything tends to
Yeah.
dry out, and you have to do
Mm-hmm.
things to help it along. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
KY, my experience with KY was yeah, and then just kind of being honest and having a conversation like, yeah, I probably do need that because it shouldn't be painful,
It
No, it
should.
shouldn't.
but it
Mm-mm.
does,
It's,
and it's because of the dryness that's there, which is
yeah.
something
It's
that occurs as
get
as you
Mm-hmm.
older, and it shouldn't be painful, especially if you're dealing with the person you've been dealing with.
right. But
If
each
it's somebody
time,
new, you just don't know. But yeah, if
yeah,
it's
but
been
each
good, it
time
should
is just
stay
like
good.
the
Yeah.
first time. Each time,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
at one point for me was like the first time, very painful.
Okay.
But again,
Oh
it
wow.
was hormonal related. It was related.
Okay.
I was in menopause.
Okay.
And I also will say when I was in the height of my menopause, I had no desire to have sex. I mean, I wasn't. I could truly do without it. It wasn't I mean, just dead, just gone. No, no, nothing.
So
Nothing.
that's probably what I was dealing with too. Because I say I got a lot, but it's literally um between the emptiness, trying to reinvent myself, trying to figure out how to navigate. I didn't have the space to I don't even feel like I had the mental space to
Capacity.
entertain trying to keep you happy or remember to call you or answer your text or all of that. It's just so because you don't know what we're dealing with, and I baby, I don't want you to wake up in a puddle and think that you got me turned on whole time. I've been sweating all night. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? And I don't want you to come up here and I'm sounding like Grizzly Adams. That could be because of weight gain too. But it is something that happens. So I'm gonna ask do I have sleep apnea? I don't want no CPAP machine, but I do want to live. And I don't want to check out here in the middle of the night because I was trying not to be cute, look like Darth Vader with the thing on. But
They have another thing for it now. I think it's not, you don't have to hold the hell mask on you.
okay, gotcha.
It's
Okay,
the little
gotcha.
tubes in your nose. Yeah.
Gotcha. So yeah, most of the women that I know are saying I love him, but he could just if he stayed down on the sofa, I would not be mad tonight. Or
Man.
if he came in to turn his back, I would not be mad. And sometimes y'all don't know, the flashes be hitting y'all trying to throw your leg over and your arm around, and we sitting here saying,
Get off of me.
I'm at my boiling point, baby. You feel me? Like so, and it ain't cause I'm turned on. So I got you. So Tanya, you got anything on the sexual health?
It's different for everybody. I
I got
haven't really experienced the dryness and all that and the low libido or anything like that yet. Hopefully not. But
you. Hey,
yeah.
okay. I got you. I got you. So we pretty much hit everything on the physical side, all my bullet points. Just it's amazing how y'all don't know what I have over here as these bullet points. And we start the conversation, and in the conversation we hit every last one of without me saying, what about the skin and the hair? The dryness and stuff like this. And see, we think about how thin the Tony done told us. What about when it started growing in places you didn't predict it was gonna grow in, baby? You understand what I'm saying? What
In the
about that? Like,
world.
I ain't trying to be. I ain't in the beard game, so I don't know what you're trying to. Why? You feel me? So, with that being said, y'all, we're gonna go to the emotional and the mental side. And I think we'll start with kind of what Frida said with the mental. What you call it?
Minnow belly.
Mental belly.
Menopause, like
Um,
menopause belly.
yeah,
Minnow.
I got you. Because it is. My friend told me she worked out 5 days a week, and she still got
The
a
lapoo.
pudge in the middle. So obviously she trying to eat right. And if you working out and stuff like that, sometimes what you eat ain't a factor because you burning off the calories and things like that. But I think it's about at this phase just embracing what you see in the mirror and just giving yourself grace. Because I have gained good weight, and I don't mean good in a good way. I've gained good weight, and I just have to tell myself, baby, you just gonna have to be kind with yourself. You're gonna have to the mental belly, the mental, maybe you ate some of your feelings during this whole menopausal thing, and it's just gonna be all right. It's gonna fall off, it's gonna be good. And if it don't, you better dye your hair blonde and buy you a string bikini because that's what the rest of the big girls wearing. Just embrace it. And
Yeah.
so
But
for
then
that, go
give
ahead.
your, give yourself grace because,
Grace.
like we've talked in previous episodes about, as middle agers, a lot of us are dealing. We're that sandwich generation, so
Yeah,
we're dealing
it's a
with
lot.
a lot. We're finding our new selves, right?
Yeah, yeah.
We are, for those of us who have children, we are trying to be a support in whatever way for our young adults.
Yes,
And
Lord.
then we're caring for our parents.
Parents. Yep.
And so, yeah, that's a lot to navigate. Still, while trying to work, still, while trying to have a life.
Right.
And so,
Right.
yeah, emotional eating, all that, whatever it takes to get you through. The
That's
important
what
part
that.
is that you recognize it and like, yeah,
Yes.
Right.
when things settle down for me. I know, yeah, I can modify my diet. I know,
Mm-hmm.
I got a radar on
Yeah.
that. I'm not going to be
Yeah.
totally unhealthy, but I got to develop some coping mechanisms
Right.
because that
Right.
menopause is the main one kicking my ass.
That's
Hmm.
right.
So yeah, I got to develop some coping mechanisms to help me get through. Long as I got on my radar that, yeah, when this passes or when I get to a certain point, I know I've got to change my eating habits. I know that I'm going to have to make time for the gym or take a walk.
I
But
am. I'm
right
gonna have
now,
to.
I'm handling 4 or 5 different things.
And I'm
Right.
just every day just putting one foot in front of the other is a
That's
huge
it.
accomplishment for me.
And it's
For
okay.
real.
So give
Child.
it. And
For
that's the
real.
whole beauty of being and having
Right.
conversations about being in menopause because, yeah, you got to
Or
support yourself.
midlife. Or
Give
midlife.
your
Or
midlife, give
midlife.
yourself
Yeah.
grace for what you're dealing with. It's okay. I have gotten to a point you're not trying to prove anything to that, and this is the
I
beauty.
don't.
This is the beauty of being midlife. I don't have to prove anything to anybody anymore.
I ain't got
I think
nothing.
I've accomplished a lot. You know, we've all had
Mm-hmm.
our kids, been in relationships,
Yep.
had jobs, did different experiences. So we're at a point now, yeah, I've earned the right
Right. Mm-hmm.
to do me. And
Right.
whatever that means, do me and
When
be.
I say nothing to prove, I mean everybody, family, friends,
Mm-hmm.
kids. Cause baby, I know I've been good to you, good. So you're gonna have to back up sometimes too. You understand? Whatever that is. And so I think with men, it is the I think men start to feel less vital in the relationships because again, now your baby girl may not need you to change her oil because she got a job and she going to Midas because she ain't got time to hear you complain about all this stuff, or she got her own somebody she calling daddy and he changing the oil and stuff like that. So I think that for men, it for real though, Tanya, because again, what we raising them for? What's the goal? What is the
That's
goal?
true.
The
Mm-hmm.
goal for my daughter is to be able to be the woman of your house, whether you the only person in it or if it's 10 more people, be the
Mm-hmm.
woman of your house. And so Mason here, my great nephew here, for you to be the man of your house, for you to be able to cook your own pot of spaghetti if she don't want to, or when she can't, you understand, because she got a whole lot going on. So I think for men it is trying to remain, and I guess we have to find a way to let them know that they are vital. We don't need you in the capacity, and your body may not be able to do what you did. Working out starts to be different. You start working out for health and not to be buff and have no cuts because you got a dad bod now, and that dad bod gonna be that problem. And so, just trying to work around that. So I think for men, it is where do I fit into the picture with the wife going through her changes and reinventing herself, and the kids thriving or in college getting ready to do it. Like, where do they fit in? And so I don't know what to tell them. I don't know what to tell them because y'all are needed. I do know that it ain't. It's not a just find your pivot. Find out how you shift and what you do now. Take up golf. Seem to be the going thing now. You know what I mean? And apparently it is
It is. It is.
therapeutic because they having
Yeah,
fun out
they
there.
love it.
Baby, run
My
to a golf course and watch them roll around on them cars with them coolers on it.
It
my
can be
dad,
golf. It
Joe
can be
used to love
pickleball.
golf.
Joe did love golf. I
Joe
remember
loved
that.
golf, and he
I do
passed it
remember
on to
that.
my brother too. And
Okay.
Luke, he loved golf. I was like,
It can
huh?
be golf. It can be pickleball. It can be
Something.
tennis. It can be
Yeah.
Because I'm
swimming.
saying that
It can be,
thing with pickleball. Now, I'm not on.
I
Is it ping pong on the
it's
on the
pickle,
on
pickle or
No, but
something.
I'm saying, is it ping pong on the court? I mean, why is it called
Pretty,
a
pickle?
little
that's what it
bigger,
seemed.
yeah,
Yeah.
like a big version of ping pong.
Hmm.
But I know it
Hmm.
has its specific rules. But
Yeah.
it has gained a lot of
Hmm.
attention.
It
And again,
Okay.
has.
it's an outlet.
Hmm.
That's why
Yeah.
golf
Yeah,
and
Yeah.
yeah,
it's
Yeah.
yeah,
an outlet. It's
Yeah.
a break
I
from your
agree.
routine.
I agree.
yeah,
That's why
No
a lot
matter
of
what
guys
it is,
play
it's great.
basketball. They go to the gym,
Yeah,
just play
yeah.
basketball, run off some
It's
of the aggression and
it's an
stuff.
outlet.
It's
yeah,
yeah, staying active.
yeah. You
Because
got to channel it somewhere. You got to
yeah,
channel it.
somewhere you do. You really,
You got
and
to
I
channel
find myself not doing that. I'm. When I tell you I'm lazy, I'll be like, I don't feel like it. I don't want to get up and walk nowhere. But after I do it, I'll be like, okay, I feel a little better. Stretch it out a little bit.
it. Yeah,
So I think when I was working at the railroad, it messed me up really bad. It threw off my sleeping and everything because I worked all 3 shifts. So my body didn't know when to wind down. And I never exercised at all. So now I don't have an excuse because I get off at 5 o'clock. So I
Mhm.
don't have an excuse, but I just be like, I see other people walking on their lunch break. I say, okay, today is the day. I'm gonna go out there and walk. I do one lap around the parking lot. I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna go back
But that's
inside.
an accomplishment. That's still an accomplishment. You know what I mean? I don't know how
Mhm.
big the parking lot is, but yeah, I don't think it is. That's like free to say. It's the beauty of our age. That
Mhm.
one lap still doing your body some good, and
Did
eventually you'll
something.
work up to it. It's just a lot. It's just a
Mhm.
lot that we
Yeah.
got going on. But now, what about us as women? And then I'm gonna bring up something for men too. Um, what about us having to age in a society where everybody's obsessed with youth and perfection and waistlines and abs and being cut, and so we age and then we looking around and we saying, yeah, but the gray hair is sexy now when you get it laid out, and we ain't nothing like a little salt and pepper on a man. And I like to see. I don't want gray hair.
Baby. And it go in the
I
wrong
don't want it, even though
places.
I
Gray
got what I
hair go
got
in the
it.
wrong place.
Mm.
The
I
wrong
got it.
places though. I'm just like, okay, come on.
Now,
Seriously.
them places. Well, guess what? For me, I ain't got nobody looking at them places right now. He gonna have to be okay. I'm talking about this right here, and this done start growing in gray too. And the gray hair be sticking straight out like this. I got a hair. People be telling me,
It's
"Come here, you got
harder.
something in your hair, baby. That's the gray hair. Don't just leave it alone." So
It's harder to
yeah,
get rid of,
yeah.
yeah.
So in a society that's obsessed with youth and slimness and we got body shaming. It's y'all don't know what it takes for us to walk with dignity. Like Frida, I saw you do this. I like that gray over
I
there, but
love it. I
I know
love
you about
it.
5 minutes from a dye job. I got you.
I love it.
Frida said, but
I
I don't.
love it.
Babe,
I
I'm going
love it.
blonde. I promise you, I'm going
I
blonde.
love
I'm
it.
going
It's so
blonde,
pretty.
bold, proud.
Thank you.
And after that blonde, if the gray starts mixing with the blonde the right way,
It'll be
I
pretty.
might take it. I
Well,
might
this
take
thing,
it.
it looks like highlights. Like this is
Yeah.
gray
It
with my
does.
brown over it, but it looks like highlights, but it's actually gray. That's
It
the
is.
gray,
It's
So
pretty.
you know.
it's working for you, boo. Let me just put it like
But
that. It's
you,
working for you.
but thank you. So
Yeah.
let me what you were saying about the world of where everybody feels like they got to be look a
Mm-hmm.
certain way, BBLs and different things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I go back to this midlife, and I find that at least, and not all, because I mean, you kind of have to take it in context because some, and I find that like most men, real men, I guess, if you will, uh, really prefer a woman that is real. So yeah, recognizing that yeah, she's not gonna have a flat a
Yeah.
washboard stomach, and she's
Yeah.
not gonna have. She's got a little season and a little, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
to her, and appreciate that. But I'm at the
Mm-hmm.
point in my life, being midlife, I recognize some things are just for the young folks to worry about.
Period.
That part.
That BBL, washboard, fine, that's for the young folks.
So live.
Now I'm going to
But
do
you,
what I have to do to maintain, my physical. Like, okay, yeah, I'm. My goal is to be healthy, and, along the way, if I drop some pounds, I'm good with that as long as I'm healthy,
yes,
maintaining my health.
yes,
I'm comfortable with who I am, what I look like. What you see is what you get. I don't have to. Again, that go back to
So,
not having to impress anybody because this is
hmm.
me.
Yeah.
I'm sitting in who I am. I earn the right to sit in who
unapologetically.
I am at
Yeah.
54 years old. So to those that want to go through all of that and be, because
Because
there's no
we
pressure.
do
There's
have
no
our
pressure.
peers that's trying to compete with them
Yeah,
young folks.
and
We ain't
that
that
and that's why I say
because
you have to take it in context because
yeah,
some that and to each his own. So
yeah.
some 50 plus people feel like yeah, okay, I gotta have slim, but I got to that's okay. Do you? Do
That's
you?
what,
Boo?
yeah, that's how you want to be then.
But
That's
But I
cool.
ain't buying no heels this high. Oh, y'all can't see. I
Oh,
ain't
I
buying no
can't
heels
wear
this high
heels
to
no
pop.
more. I can't do them. I can't
and
do
it's
heels.
all right because a
Mm.
flat.
Mm. Ain't
It's
nothing
my best
like it.
friend.
Ain't
Best
nothing
Hey,
friend.
like it. Ain't nothing
hey,
like it.
Baby,
it's
don't
what's
let it have a
comfortable.
rhinestone on it.
Again,
What?
we've reached that point
Don't let
in
it have a
life.
rhinestone or some type of flash.
We've reached
Yeah.
that point in life where practicality is what it's
Mm.
about.
It is.
I
Absolutely.
can still be fly and
And,
wear
Yes.
my
be
flats.
myself.
Hmm.
And
I
be
can still
myself.
be fly and put on Spanx to give me some shape. I can
Yeah,
be fly and go walk that, spend an hour with some physical activity, make that walk around the neighborhood. As long as
I
I'm
can be fly
kind
because
of
I ain't
decent.
finna put on no Spanx today. Because
Well,
I
and
just
and
they
and
ain't
it's
Spanx
okay.
today.
It's okay. It's okay if
Yeah.
you don't. What I'm saying is, in this 50-ish
Yeah,
podcast,
we
yeah,
ain't
leave that to
Mhm.
those that want to do that. But we
we
good.
Yeah.
got it.
We good right
We
where
got
we
it.
are.
We
I don't
got
think
it.
all of us look good, but we ain't cracked.
We ain't
Yeah.
we
We ain't
ain't
cracked.
we ain't correct.
We
So
Mhm.
okay,
good.
so what about men? Why do you think that men? Because I know they got fears of aging, and they looking at these young bucks, and they looking at not. And I mean, I'm talking about the younger guys. Are they remembering? I used to be able to shoot 50 free throws without my arm aching and stuff like this. And so, I think it's really. I think we really need a space, and I think they do have podcasts, and they now are embracing a little bit more because now it ain't about somebody getting in your business. Just say what you got going on, and you'll realize you have a whole lot of people dealing with that same thing. That's what we saying. As
Yeah.
we menopause and we finding out, oh, we ain't the only one. Did you hear me say my mom had to sleep with a towel between her legs? I didn't know that, but I don't put one up under me. I ain't thought about scooping it. You know what I
Right.
mean? But guess what? I mean, whatever made you do so. I wonder it's the men holding it in, which create
they
other
they
levels of
they're
stress.
holding it in. They're not talking about issues with each other. Not
Or
all of them.
us. They gotta feel safe
Oh.
with that though. They gotta feel safe with that. You gotta know
Hmm.
your tribe. Now you don't
Yeah.
wanna I'm not gonna talk about everything that I go through with just every woman, whether she can
Mhm.
relate or not, because some people ain't on your team. You understand what I'm saying? I don't know. Everybody ain't on your team. Let me put it like that. And some
Mhm.
people will be in your face saying, "Oh, I'm sorry that happened," and be like, "Yeah, girl, cause see, she thought she was all that in high school. High school, you talking about 36 years ago or however long it's been? Like we ain't still talking about that." And so, um, men, I would and listen, y'all, comment. Don't just like, subscribe, and share. Comment. Tell us, give us feedback on what we saying, especially men and women. Give us feedback. Tell us what y'all
Mhm.
want to hear us talk about. We can elaborate. We will bring people on. We are going to bring
Mhm.
people on. I got two good people I want to bring on for one of these topics. I think would be two men who I think would be like us and just lay it bare without, because they would know regardless of who this reaches, we are a safe space, because we're
Right.
gonna get people that's gonna judge. That's just life. Make your haters your motivators, but the silent struggles that men go, because they go through this same thing. Years of being the strong one, the provider, the head of the household. The dad is supposed to be the one to run out if somebody trying to rob us, or he's supposed to check the door. He go in the house first to make sure ain't nothing going on. He the last one to check the locks at night, and all of that can get heavy too. You understand what I'm saying? That's a lot of pressure when it comes to when you get midlife, because your testosterone and stuff is shifting, and all that stuff in you might start to feel unappreciated and all that kind of stuff like that too. So weigh in and let us know, comment and tell us, how we get through this, how you get through this. Let's spark a big conversation. Let's start a nationwide conversation, male and female, period. Not just not just ethnicity, because I don't think midlife got nothing to do with
Your race.
your race.
Mm-mm.
I'm 100% sure. You know what I
Right.
mean? And so, about the mood swings, y'all, the stress and the burnout, the mental fog. What about,
Woo.
you don't walk to the kitchen and now you can't remember what you went for? And
And that's
I, babe,
real.
I don't pulled up Google. But what was I fin to Google? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So I had to walk my steps back and be like, oh yeah, Tanya don't say something about Lumi. So now you were going to look for Lumi.
Hmm.
And then Lumi, I'm trying to type Lumi, and something else come about the old illumination down at what it is, where is it? The belt line. Oh, you've been trying
Yeah.
to get to that. Let me, so
Hmm.
then I
It
forgot all
just
about
go
Lumi.
back and you just be gone. Just your mind
It's the
just be like, oh,
brain fog,
bang, bang,
y'all.
bang, bang. You be like, what the
Listen,
world?
what
Thank you
the
for that because I was like, I actually had a promotion, had gotten promotion on this job I'm on now, and I could not concentrate to do the Excel spreadsheet. I couldn't figure that thing out for nothing. They demoted me because I was like, I don't know. I just don't know. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I know I'm not dumb, but I couldn't grasp it. I was just like, and I couldn't sit still long enough for them that they would train me. I write it all down and stuff. Then I get in my office like this. What this supposed to do?
Brain fog.
Brain
Thank
fog.
you for
Yeah,
that. Thank
yeah.
you.
Brain fog. It's real. Like all this stuff real, y'all. This ain't no, you know what I mean? The mood swings, it's how the hormones and the life stress collide. You know, it's everything. And so sometimes I just just back up.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And just give me a minute. Cause
Give me
Press,
a
yeah,
minute.
press
Give
pause.
me a minute.
give
Yeah,
Give
me
press
me a minute,
pause. I need to press
please.
pause so I can just
Please.
have a mental moment and get
Because
it.
if you don't give
listen,
it to
y'all.
me, I'm gonna give it to you. Don't,
Listen,
don't.
y'all. But who told us? How do we subscribe to silence is strength and suffer in silence and don't say nothing and just say? How do we buy into that? And why you think we ain't talked about this? Like, why why we ain't
Because we
expressed
had to
it?
be strong. We had to be
Right.
strong. And
Yeah.
I know, our podcast transcends across all demographics, but I can speak to as an African American and
Mm-hmm.
growing up in the South. You
Mm-hmm.
know, to those who were teaching us, our parents and older family members, we had to be strong. And to
Mm-hmm.
them, anything outside of that was a weakness.
Yes.
You press down.
Mm-hmm.
Again, that's why I'm saying being discreet and not
And then
saying
it boiled over. Yeah. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
now in a time such as this, and me having a son, telling him that, yeah, your emotions are valid.
Mhm.
He's not
Yes.
soft, but I did let him know that it's okay to express yourself. It's okay if you need to cry, you cry.
Yes.
Not
Because
just suck it up. No,
we
let's
got a
talk about. Let's talk
society
about
full of
why.
men to pent
Yeah,
up
yeah. Let's
trauma.
talk about it. Talk about it, so you won't have trauma. So you won't be
Yep.
50 years old wanting to shoot up everybody because
Yep.
Right.
something happened to
Absolutely.
you at 16. No, we
Hmm.
need to
Yeah.
talk about it. We can talk
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
But in our generation, when we were coming up, no, we were
Suck it
seen
up.
and not heard,
Suck
sucking
it
it
up.
up, doing what we were told, head down, keep it
Mm-hmm.
moving. Very rarely did you have where, because let me speak from my experience. I was told I didn't have the relationship with my mother. I mean, I could go to her if something was wrong or whatever, but just to sit down and just have a casual conversation about anything other than being a child and, child things and school and chores, just want to sit down, and I'll say that I remember when I was having my son and at the hospital, and how the nurse and everyone would come in and check you to see how far along you were dilated, and my mother would leave the room. Now
Really.
I'm her
Really.
child. She had me. She changed my pampers and
Yeah.
know me.
Yeah.
But that was the boundary that
Okay.
she set. And again,
Mhm.
no, we're not gonna talk about it. We're not gonna talk about it. She just felt like I'm like, no, this is a beautiful thing. This is the
Yeah.
birth of your grandson.
Your first
So
and only.
yeah, so you can kind of put away that, what you were raised on,
Mm-hmm.
and be okay with being emotional and seeing and looking, because
Yes.
you're not looking at me, we looking at you know what's
Mhm.
about to
A
happen.
brand new world coming in. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
so you have to kind of generationally, we were taught, yeah, suck it up, don't cry,
Yeah.
no need, you got to be strong, you're this young, you're gonna be this, so
Yeah.
yeah, that's where that
Okay.
comes from, and not having conversations about these things.
Okay.
Just hush, 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 discreet. Don't say,
Yeah.
yeah, just taboo. Some things are just taboo.
Yeah.
Mm.
You know, so
So yeah, break the silence, y'all. Unmute yourself. Speak it and trust me. Again, find your tribe. You don't have to spill your business to everybody, but find a safe space that you can, and somebody that'll be honest with you, that'll tell
Yeah.
you, like Frida saying, "Baby, this life. It's okay,
Mhm.
Tanya. If you did one lap, you did one more than I did today. And
Mhm.
if that, maybe you'll do more when the weather break, because if on your lunch break, it's the height of the
Yeah.
afternoon, and maybe I don't want to walk and pass out here. You understand? I'll come back in here musty because I ain't
Right.
put no lumen on. You know what I mean? And all I was trying to do was lose weight. So with that being said, like, so how do we, with the lifestyle adjustment? So how do we embrace where we are? You know, the like you said, do we gonna change our food? We're gonna exercise, but we have a different thing in mind. When we exercising now, it's about being healthy. It's not about trying to be 36, 24, 36 no more. And for the men, you got to protect your heart. So when you lifting weights, you may not be able to go out for Mr. America, but just lift you a few weights every day so your heart stays strong and it's pumping. So what kind of lifestyle adjustments have you made in this midlife to what's your self-care routine looking like? You know.
Well, mine, I I've gone back to journaling. Like that helps so much because I'll write it, and then a week or two I'll go back and read through it. I'll be like, oh wow, wow. So I've learned to journal and I love it. I really do. I was like, I could write a book. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I
I
love
think
it.
journaling is heavy right now with our group. I
Mm-hmm,
think it's really
mm-hmm,
heavy and healthy,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
um, as well. I don't, my hands. So writing get
mm-hmm.
to hurting after a while. So
Okay.
I started doing like video
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
journaling. You
That's
know, just
good
making
too.
videos.
That's
Yeah,
good
because
too.
you
I do
know,
that
and
too.
then I try to like email them to myself so that they're always, because you know I may not always have the same phone and memory and backups and all of that kind of stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but I do try to give an account of what's going on. You know what happened today. What did I do that made me feel proud? Again, I walked up and down the steps 5 or 6 times because it was raining outside, and that's what I called exercise. Or
Yeah.
made an appointment. I checked this off my list, whatever it is. So that's a good thing, Tanya. Journaling. That's a good thing.
Yeah, I like
That's
it. I do.
therapeutic.
It
That's
is
therapeutic.
very much. And I
That's
like the
therapeutic.
video thing because I've went back and listened to some of my videos that I made. I was like, oh wow, when did I make that? Yeah,
Yeah.
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 And speaking, saying what you feel.
Yeah. We got to we got to reframe wellness as uh, a necessity, not a luxury.
Mhm.
Like we gotta
Right.
make time
Yeah,
to,
got
and I'll say
to.
this, even in the middle of midlife changes, when you feel like your sleep is being interrupted, rest is still important. So
Oh
if you
yeah.
can't sleep, just stay laying
Just
down or
lay
sit up,
down.
stay in the
Hmm.
relaxed
Yeah.
thing, because that still helps. You understand what
Right.
I'm saying?
It
Whether you
does.
sleep or not, your body ain't got. Don't get up and start doing laundry. Don't get up and mop the floor, even though you know that's something you need to do. Rest and
Yeah.
be okay with that. You understand? Because now we feel like we got to always be on the move. Why?
Mm.
Why? Because that becomes stressful trying to meet all these other obligations. And so, what's your self care looking like, Freedom?
So, and I've learned to what's most important is not to compare,
Yes.
you know, and then I have to do what's best for me and on
Yeah.
my terms, on my schedule, not what I see
Mm.
others doing.
Mm-hmm.
And then that work life balance, just
Mhm.
balance. So, what's important to me, like, again, we talked about like I'm caregiving for my mother,
Mm-hmm.
and in giving, caring for her, it's just certain things that I don't want to do when I get her age. I don't want to have to take a barrage of pills
Mm-hmm.
and be diagnosed with congestive heart failure and
Mm-hmm.
atrial fibrillation and have
Mm-hmm.
cholesterol issues and you know,
Mhm.
just things. So I want to be preventive in my health.
Yes.
So yeah, I may not, I don't think I'm never going to be a size 2, but I
Mhm.
want to be healthy.
Yes.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
so
it's a
whatever I
difference.
have to do to be
It's a
healthy, I don't
difference.
I don't deprive myself because
Right.
Right.
that's not real life.
That's
But
not.
everything in moderation. And then
Mhm.
Yes.
I put forth the effort because I made it a priority. I made my health a priority because I'm looking at my mother and I'm saying, wow, I'm getting to see my future if I don't make some changes.
If I
Right.
don't.
I don't.
Right.
Yes.
So yeah,
Mhm.
that became a priority for me. I had to kind of
Mhm.
say, no, okay, I don't care. I go up and down with my weight, whatever. But as long
Yep.
Mhm.
as I try to be consistent and persistent, Make better food choices. And, hey, truth be told, and we all know in midlife, we just can't eat like we used to.
We can't.
There's absolutely
We
no
can't.
way I can eat like I ate
Yeah,
when I
because I was gonna ask you, like, have your taste buds changed? Because I know
Some of
I'm
yeah,
having that problem. Yeah,
taste
yeah,
buds have
it's
changed.
yeah,
Some things I
yeah,
just don't have a desire for. And,
yeah,
right,
and some
right.
things I look at and be like, As
Mm-hmm.
much as I
Right.
like every now and then a varsity hot dog,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
I will forego that because I know what the repercussions are.
yeah.
We just
It's
gonna
so
do without
good.
it. I'm not
We
finna
just
go
gonna,
through that. I'm not. I just can't do that anymore. I can't.
it
Mm-hmm.
ain't, it ain't worth it. It ain't,
There's
it
certain
don't
things
even
you just
think. It
know
ain't
better.
worth
You just
it. It
know
ain't
better
worth
because you know what it brings. And so yeah, no, we can't. Yeah, I can't. No, to each his own. So I find an alternative to that. Find something else
Mm-hmm.
healthier that I like and embrace. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
it.
it's all up here in your mind.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We missing out on nothing. And just
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
things I don't, like I was watching this young man today on TikTok eating, he had some cheese sticks, mozzarella cheese sticks, and then he was eating like the noodles, but the noodles were full of cheese. And he was
Oh
shoveling that in his mouth. And I was like, it is,
my
I
God.
felt the clogging of the artery.
I know that's
That
right.
does not help nutrition. But again, he's young, 20
Yeah.
Yeah.
something
So
year
he gonna.
old.
Yeah, he ain't having that
That's
problem.
on
Yeah.
him. But
Right.
for me,
Right.
it's like,
He ain't
yeah, no,
having that
no,
problem.
I wouldn't be able to sit there and eat that.
Yeah.
And I don't can't eat as much. I mean,
Yeah.
okay, even
Mm-hmm.
I've had to be honest, I've had weight loss surgery and
Mm-hmm.
I
Me too.
can't eat as much as I used to. But even if
Mm-hmm.
I did, I don't think because and you do food is not a priority for me. You have to change your way of thinking.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
don't live to eat. I eat to live.
It's a live,
Yeah. It's
right.
a necessity,
Absolutely.
but it don't have
It
to.
is.
Yeah. Everything in moderation. Yeah.
When I
Right.
Yeah.
overindulge
Absolutely.
in something
Yeah.
that I don't and shouldn't, I feel
Mm-hmm.
it makes me feel awful. Like I
Mm-hmm.
love Talenti gelato. Love it.
Mm-hmm.
Love it to
Mm-hmm.
death. And when I looked at the back of the jar, the container, it's like that pint is like 4 or 5 servings.
Wow.
And I remember I used to eat the whole thing
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
in one sitting. But I said, well, let me just try two
Mm-hmm.
little spoon scoops. And that was enough.
Yeah.
That
Mhm.
was enough.
Yeah.
I didn't need to
Yeah.
sit there and eat that whole thing. So
Right.
where
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would eat the whole thing at one time,
Yeah.
that little thing will last me, you
Yeah.
know,
Now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because I
Yeah.
know if I eat it, one, I'm gonna be
Mm-hmm.
sick. I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna get sick. Because yeah, no, I just can't do that anymore like that.
Yeah.
Can't eat.
Yep.
Don't have the desire to do that.
Right.
It just I think that's aside from a menopause thing, I think that's just an age thing and just
Yeah. It's
your body
like
just
certain
can't. It's
stuff. I
hard.
just like I
Yeah.
I stopped drinking wine though. I did. And I was just like, I just stopped. Because once again, back at that railroad, that toxic place, I would work overnight and in the morning be drinking wine just to relax
Mm.
But
until I was
but I get that because if you working overnight, the morning is your.
yeah, I
You know what I
know.
mean? So
Yeah.
it's not,
Mm-hmm.
and I know it sound bad to the. It may sound bad, but it's no different than me getting home at 6 or 7 and having a
Yeah.
glass of wine. Now you stopping if that's what you need to do, that's fine. But the morning was now your.
Your night, yeah. But
Yeah,
it
that's
was
your
weird to
evening.
me. It was just so weird. And I was like, gosh, why? But that's the only way that I could really sleep. I
Yeah.
mean, and I was going through bottles, not at
Okay.
one time, but I was just drinking. I said, I don't know if this affected my kidneys or what. I said, let me slow up on this wine. And so now
Okay.
I said, I just don't.
And
Mm-mm.
again, it's about preservation. We
It
know
Mm-hmm.
is.
better now.
It
We
is.
know better now. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I wanna be around. And so yeah, I can't eat and drink the things that I used to eat and drink.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to preserve what's left. Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
don't
What's
want
left? Yeah,
my
what's left? Right,
Mhm.
absolutely.
high cholesterol and my
Yeah.
heart and
Mm-hmm.
all of that. I don't want that. I don't want cancer. And there are preventative
Yeah.
things you can do to keep
Yeah.
yourself healthy.
And advocate, guys. Advocate when it comes to these doctors. Know your options. You don't always have to take the first thing they're offering. There are other, sometimes you do need the medicine. Let's be clear. You know what I mean? But sometimes there are other alternatives or whatever. But speak up, because we've had too many instances. I used to be a pharmacy technician, and people would, you don't know how many people would come in the pharmacy, give us their prescriptions, and then say, well, what is that for? And we
Mhm.
looking at them like, what you go to the doctor for? Like, we don't know, because certain stuff, an antibiotic may be prescribed for 5 different infections. We don't know which one you got.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm here telling you, got an ear infection whole time. You just had a root canal. They trying to keep you from getting an infection.
Yeah.
So how you let somebody give you a prescription for something and
Without
you don't know what it's for?
oh,
Yeah. And we're gonna put it on the bottle, take this to control cholesterol. We're gonna say all of that, but you still supposed to know you left that with blood pressure, cholesterol, and all that. So advocate, speak up. It's no,
you
we
have to.
paying these people. Yeah, they giving us stuff to put in our body. We got a right to know what it is
Absolutely.
and
Yeah,
what
And
it's
you
what
gonna
the
do.
side
have.
effects are, yeah.
And what it's
Yeah,
gonna do.
you have to be your own
Yeah,
advocate.
advocate. Advocate,
Like
y'all.
I'll forever take a medication because I have a compromised immune system, and
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know that that medication has some very serious side effects.
Mm-hmm.
So I do what I have to do to counter that. If
Mm-hmm.
I know that this is going to eventually affect my kidneys, or it will if you don't do certain things, and your liver.
Mm-hmm.
Those things are vital to
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
every day. So yeah,
Yep.
that's why I'm on the treadmill. That's why I don't eat certain things. That's why I do what I have to do. Make sure I drink my
So
water and eat fruits and
gotcha.
vegetables, and just because I have to try to keep my body, maintain my body, because I'm taking a medication that, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
over
Yep.
anything, long use of anything can
Oh
have an
yeah.
adverse effect.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
It
yeah.
don't matter. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you balance. You have your work life balance. So
And
yeah, I know I'm doing it. Got to take this. So these are the
yeah.
things that I'm going to commit to doing to keep myself healthy.
Yeah. And
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm
we
gonna
gonna break the
research, because you
silence.
telling me something. I'm gonna go and research it, and I'm gonna ask
Me
questions.
too.
And if I'm not comfortable with what you say, then I know I have the right to go to another doctor and get a
I
second
Yeah,
do.
opinion on
absolutely.
something.
No offense to you,
Figure it
Doc.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're gonna break the silence when it comes to just everything. Like men been taught not to talk about their health issues. Let's break that. Because they've been told to man up, or instead of us saying what can we do to help, like let me check on you and stuff like this. Women been taught to carry so much without support, because you a woman, you strong. When black women don't cry, black women don't. Yes, we do. Black women get tired. We are tired. The 92% is tired. Trust us.
Mhm.
And that span, that ain't 45, that ain't 50ish. That's the whole. So yeah, let's start talking. Let's have generational conversations. I think where we are preparing our sons and daughters, nieces and nephews for what's to come. We could look at our economy, look at our political climate. Let's just prepare them. Let's have real conversations on what we got going on. Teach them financial literacy. It ain't always about having a credit card. It ain't always about buying something with the credit card. Don't put everything on the firm. Some stuff, if you can't, or whatever these afterpays is, if you can't buy, leave it alone. Let's have the conversations that keep us thriving, and not just midlife, so that when they get here, they ain't scrambling to try to figure it out because they didn't know, and the light bulb just going off. And even when we tell them again, you still need your light bulb moment. Let's just make sure we telling them. So
Mm-hmm.
somewhere it'll spark something, y'all. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And so
Yeah.
redefine our sexy, redefine the stigma about aging. Like you said, we ain't got to. Me and y'all ain't got to stay strong. You know what I mean? You can have the space to be vulnerable. Just find the right person
Mhm.
to do that with.
Right.
And then we got to support. We got to, if we looking for support, we got to give it as well. I just, baby, listen, we just want everybody to be okay,
Mhm.
because it's a lot going on for every age group.
Right.
You understand
Right.
what I'm saying? Just in the world we live in. And so let's just talk, have the good conversations out loud. Let's uplift, let's empower. Midlife ain't about losing strength, it's redefining it. And so
Mhm.
to our supporters, our kids, our parents, who are watching us age as well, we just want a little bit of grace as well. We trying to give
Yes,
it.
God.
And sometimes having been your mom or dad or your daughter may have been what I define myself as, but I'm trying to
Mhm.
step outside of that
All
because
right. Right.
everybody doing their thing. You understand? And so my mama, old enough but young enough to still thrive. My daughter kicking adulthood, and she'll be 21 next Thursday
Mm-hmm.
on 9/25. You
Hey.
understand? And so that's a whole nother. I can't believe it. I can, but we here,
Mm-hmm.
and so um, just reframing it, y'all. Just putting a spin on it and letting everybody know it's all good. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Support us. Let us know. We want to let you know how we feel, and then we expect you to tell us how that affects you, because we do know that y'all are affected by the changes that are affecting us. We
Yeah.
do know that. So, because if I come in the house cussing, everybody looking like we were just saying good morning to you. We didn't even know that somebody cut you off in traffic, and then why did that spill off over into here, and why we still talking about it 5 days later?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's about
Mhm.
just putting y'all up and making y'all aware of what's going on, how it feels, so you get a better understanding of what may be going on with your person, your grandmother, your mama, your aunts,
Your
or whoever.
mamas.
Yeah, your mamas. Because the recap is midlife body changes are real, but
Very real.
we strong enough to get through it. We resilient. We're gonna be all right. Talk about it with your people. Find your safe space. Look at your brother and be like, "Hey, man, you ever be needing to look at some porn to get yourself together? Or you looked at porn and it still ain't working, and your wife in there hot and ready, and you got to tell her, baby, not today, because your brother might be like, shit, that happened 3 times a week for me. We don't put ourselves on the schedule, so it's you're not alone. It does happen, and just find a way to talk it out, release it again. Find your tribe. It's very, very, very. Stop suffering in silence. Stop suffering in silence. Which before I close it out, because I was getting ready to close it out, y'all. What y'all want to say? What y'all? How we
You
close it out, y'all?
you wrapped it up in a nutshell. I mean, I echo everything you said. I
Yeah,
mean,
Yeah.
it was real and relatable, which is what
it
I,
did.
hope that.
I'm excited when we get our co-host on and some of the male, because I just want to hear from other men, because I've been married for 25 years, so I don't know the space that men are in other than my husband. So I really don't. I mean, I have an adult son, but he doesn't talk to me like that anymore.
But do
So
you and your husband talk? Have you given him the safe space to let it out? Ask
okay,
him.
yeah, and I do. However, what you say to me just doesn't make sense to me. So that's why I said maybe I need to hear it from somebody else, because what you're saying to me just doesn't make sense. It doesn't. I say you
But
need to
have
go
you
to the
ever thought
doctor.
about that's what they saying about us?
They
What we
may,
trying to tell
and
them? Why can't we can't
they
explain
may,
why we crying? And okay,
they may. I mean,
okay.
it's simple. I mean, it's just like you need to go to the doctor and see about yourself. Oh yeah. And I think too, a lot of men maybe are afraid to go to the doctor by themselves. I don't know. See,
Mhm.
I don't know if other men feel that way. I don't know. I'm just curious. I'm very curious to know.
I got you. I got you. So again, yeah, we'll bring them on and make sure we have we'll let them know what we're talking about and get their opinion, but they still may say something you don't understand, but then that'll give you a better
True.
understanding that your husband
Yeah,
is
like
playing
it ain't
along.
just one. Yeah,
And it's
yeah,
not
Yeah,
just
you,
him.
but
yeah.
you have to be able to look at from a global standpoint, because if you have other middle-aged men in your life,
Hmm.
do you see any similarities? Not personality, but is this person grumpy? Or even if it ain't similarities, do you see changes with the other person? Like if you've been your brother's deceased, so I don't necessarily want to bring him up, but um, if you got a homeboy, you got a brother-in-law. So who and I don't expect your brother-in-law to be who he was 30 years ago, but have you noticed that he's increasingly more this or increasingly more that? Because all of that still could be a factor of his midlife change. You know what I'm saying? So you got to know that other people, your husband, whatever he feeling, whether he can express it right or not, he ain't by himself. It's somewhere somebody else's husband got that same issue, may not know how to, and they may not know how to embrace our
Express
changes
it. Yeah,
or
I don't.
our changes. The new you, you know, when I come in here blind, I don't want to hear what nobody got to say. Feel me? This what I need to do. So we will bring them on, and we gonna get to the. But we again, they can comment, they can like, they can comment. You can still bring your son on, but he's 30, so he ain't really midlife. So
Mm-mm.
what he
No.
will want to talk to you about, he may not be able to relate, but if he hear this, it can prepare him for what's to come, and then he may
Right.
be able to better understand what you
Right.
and
As
his dad
women. Yeah.
do have
And
going
his,
on.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
or whoever. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Again, stop
It's,
suffering in silence, y'all. Stop suffering in silence. Let's talk about it. And who better than the person that you done chose to spend your life with? But that go for you too, Tanya. Tell it. Don't tell
mm-hmm.
him what it. And if not, tell him watch this, and
Mm-hmm.
he'll get a better understanding. But we want y'all to remember that 50ish is not the end. It is just a remix. So we're just trying to figure out how to do what we've been doing in a new way, and then bring new stuff into the fold and embrace that. So that's pretty much it. Again, we want y'all to like, follow, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Our handles are at the 50ish podcast. That's IG, Facebook, and TikTok. And on YouTube, we're just 50ish podcast. So watch our videos, comment, let us know. You can email us at 50ishpodcast at gmail.com. Let us know if you have show ideas, anything you want us to elaborate on, anything you think, hey, just let us know. We real now. So we do provide feedback. So watch how you come. But we do embrace people's truth. We respect the right to disagree. We respect the right to have a difference of opinion. We just want to be respectful in how it's delivered and how we bring it to y'all and how you bring it to us. So this has been 50ish, y'all. We just getting started. Just getting started. See you next time.
Hi.
Hold on, y'all, because you know I have to hit it like 3 times.